Howdy folks, Bluesboy Jag here, yet another cigar box guitar. Howdy folks, Bluesboy Jag here, yet another cigar box guitar. I have never made one out of this box before. Well, I have now, but not before now. Really cool, interesting box. Now there's some cool old school, old style artwork for an old style guitar. Wouldn't you say? Acoustic electric. There's a sound hole, there's another one up there. Yeah. Volume control. Some of the CBGs I make require a bolt for the strings to be just right. This one, however, the bridge is a fret. It's a real fret, the same fret that you'd see on the neck right there. Yep. It's crooked by design, so it would be in tune all the way up the neck, and that is called intonation. There you go. Shiny box. I spray all my boxes with a whole bunch of polyurethane to protect the finish. And I put extra wood in here to weight it down so it sits like this when you're on stage with a strap instead of sitting like that. The first 6-stringer I made, the prototype, which is still my main 6-string CBG, I failed to do that because it was the first one I ever made. Didn't know I needed to, so on stage it hangs like this, and I've just gotten used to it over the years, but it's still kind of a pain. So I try to put extra weight in here in these boxes so it hangs like that, and it will give you extra sustain as well, because without that weight it's a real light box and they sound great, but the notes just don't sustain as well. So I put extra weight in there to make them a little bit heavier. Here's what it looks like on the back. I mean, that's just really cool. Very nifty. Single coil pickup embedded in the box so you don't see it. Preserves the artwork. Those 3 screws are the pull pieces to the pickup. I always put these old-timey looking strap holders on, and I sign and number it, and I put the Bluesboy Jag logo right down, another Bluesboy Jag logo right there. Red oak neck. Now, I use 0.09 strings because I buy them in bulk from China. So these are tuned AEA. If you'd like to tune them to G, probably need some 0.10s. Any brand, you don't have to buy them in bulk from China. You can buy them at your local guitar shop. You can buy them at Walmart. Anywhere, electric guitar strings, any brand, anywhere, any brand. Doesn't matter the brand, and you can experiment with tunings. A lot of people say, how do you tune a cigar box guitar? Well, there are lots of ways. You can tune it to a G, you can tune it to A, you can tune it to open D, open E. You can use different strings than what I use. I use the 5th, 4th, and 3rd strings on these 3 stringers. On the 4 stringers, I use the 5th, 4th, 3rd, and 2nd of a regular electric guitar set. They must be electric guitar strings if they have a pickup in them. That's what they're designed for. Magnetic pickups work with the nickel plated and metal guitar strings. Those are designed for electric guitars. The magnetic pickup, not a transducer pickup. Not a huge fan of transducers, they're alright. But I prefer the magnetic pickup. They give you the bluesy tone like this. The strings, I've got these medium low, so you can play slide on it or finger style. If you want to only play finger style, you can keep it where they're at, or if they're a little bit too high, you can tighten this screw on the bottom just a tiny itsy bitsy bit, maybe an 1/8 of a turn, maybe even less. And what it does is it pulls the neck down just a tiny bit, maybe a 32nd of an inch, which makes a huge difference as far as how high the strings are. So, in other words, you can raise them or lower them. If you like them pretty high for slide, loosen this a bit, maybe a 1/2 a turn, which is a lot. If you want to bring them down just a tiny bit, tighten it just a tiny bit. If you want to raise them a tiny bit, loosen it just a tiny bit, maybe an eighth of a turn. And that gives you an adjustable string height. Now, some people have asked me, when you pull that neck down, when you quote pull the neck down, well, what it's really doing is these are wood boxes and they have a thin lid for better acoustic playability. So what it does, it actually pulls ever so slightly, maybe 32nd of an inch, oh, tiny bit. It pulls the lid down just a little bit. Well, that gives you just enough play to raise or lower those strings exactly the way you want them. Now, I ship them from the Bluesboy Jag factory pretty much medium height, so you can play fretted or slide. And most people, myself included, play fretted and slide at the same time. So I won't play just slide or just fretted. I'll jump back and forth constantly between the two. So that's why I set them kind of in the middle. So you can play fingerstyle just fine, or slide. Now, if you notice, these boxes are much shorter than a real electric solid body guitar. And if you look close, when you look right here, you'll see the strings are rather high. And some people would be like, those strings are pretty damn high. Well, when you actually get down to the fretboard, they're perfect. Huh? What do you say? I said when you get down to the fretboard, they're actually perfect. Perfect height. They're higher here. Why? Because the box is so much shorter than a real Stratocaster, Les Paul, electric guitar, you know, big honking. Well, the distance is the same between here, and y'all are just going, what? I don't know what he's talking about. Smaller box, strings are higher over here. Longer box, strings are higher over here, and then they get lower and lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. So that's why I have to put that in, that little bracket in there to bring the strings down for those of you who like them pretty damn low. Sorry I said the word damn. Once again, thanks for watching. Thanks for kind support. Doodles.